So what's Incredibl? It's a new social media. What's our mission? We want to connect passionate people worldwide. My background, I've lived in lots of countries in the world. The worldwide aspect of it is really important to me. I think passion is what brings us in this room today. So this is a good audience for this new social media. Our first application will be to concentrate on sports, because I think building a new social media by itself is super difficult if you don't focus on something. And people in sports are very passionate. They're fans and they like to engage. And right now, the sports business model, I think, is a bit broken. It relies very much on TV rights, but as you all know, nobody watches TV anymore. The viewership is very fragmented. You have OTT platforms, you have different channels, you have snippets on YouTube. Basically, you don't know where to watch sports and where to interact for sports anymore. And that will result in the TV rights to go down. That's going to be a big problem for the sports business. So we have to find a new way of rebuilding this sports business. Also, if you look at the TV viewership age, in the US, people watching tennis on TV are on average 61 years old. So there needs to be something done about it. Then the monetization of sports is not working very well. If you look at a club like Manchester United, which is the better known football club in the world, they claim to have 1 billion fans, but their revenue is 450 million pounds. So that's 45 cents per fan per year. Is that good? No. So in many sports, and that's football, that's the main sport. So in many other sports, athletes are just struggling. They're not making money, they do it for passion, do it because they get a grant from their country to go to the Olympics. But it can't be a way of life, it can't be something they pursue for life. However, it's still a $600 billion market. So it's huge. So lots of passion, broken model, lots of money. Something has to be done about it. So why do we have such a problem? First of all, social media has taken our brain time. 50% of the world population uses social media every day. And on average, about 2 hours and 27 minutes. So worldwide, so it's quite a bit. Second thing we're seeing is that institutions are being bypassed, and people want a direct relationship with the celebrities, with the athletes. We all know about Mbappe or Messi, but we forget about the clubs, and it's even more true in sports where clubs are not that important. I mean, if you think about surfing or volleyball or any other sports, the clubs are not so prominent. However, the stars, the athletes, they don't really know how to monetize this direct relationship with their fans. They might use Instagram, but on Instagram, you need 100,000 followers to make $1,000 a month. It's a bit tough. I mean, someone like Ronaldo might have 150 million followers, but for the normal, even good athletes, he might have 10,000, 50,000. So Instagram doesn't bring him anything. What it brings is money to Instagram. $26 billion last year in the US only. So our aim is to take this 26 billion and redistribute it between the fans and the athletes, and at the same time create a much more passionate and engaging experience for both the fans and the athletes. How are we going to do that? Well, through a Web3 fan engagement app, which will be powered by its own token, the Dibble. It will allow us to reach a younger audience. 94% of crypto buyers are either millennials or Gen Zs. So compared to the 61-year-old guy watching tennis, that's quite a change. It will allow also much more fan engagement because liking a post on Instagram is not exactly a fantastic experience. And there's no middleman, there's no Instagram anymore. So it will be an app in which you'll enter a community by purchasing a card. A bit like, I don't know if you know stepping, you buy a shoe and you go walking. It's with the entrance, you buy a card. Because if there's not this initial voluntarily contribution to the community, there'll be too many haters, too many bots, too many whatever. So it's a bit of a way of weeding out people who are not really interested, will not bring much to the community. And then, a bit like in an airline loyalty program, the more you engage the community, the more you're active, the more points you make. And these points are used to consume premium content, or are used to buy NFTs, basically used to get premium stuff from your social network. So the more you participate, the more tokens you get. The more tokens you get, the more premium content you have access to. If you're passive, you'll have to pay to get the content in tokens. If you're reasonably active, it will level out. If you're super active, you'll make money because you're offering a real service to the community. You're curating content. You're making it fun. You're making it like a community, social. And athletes will gain dibbles when they onboard new users and when they post good content. So they're incentivized. Everybody's incentivized to make it somewhere cool, nice, where people want to hang out and engage with around sports. How does it work? This is where we haven't completely ironed out the technical solution. It might be on the layer 1 blockchain specialized for social media. Might be layer 2 on which you could add a protocol like a lens protocol. We've been talking about this. Not sure yet, but what we are sure is the token is what's going to enable the capture of the value which is created in the network and its redistribution between the creators. Business model, well, there's revenues. We'll take commissions on the sale of tokens, and there's going to be an NFT marketplace also. And we'll have some branding options, no ads, but branding. You can have special game branded by Adidas or things like this. Then the costs, technical costs, marketing costs, legal costs. And I wanted to end with our values because I think it's quite important. Maybe I should have started by that. We want to be bold, we want to be open, we want to be real. Bold because we want to challenge the status quo. When you're building Web3, necessarily you challenge the status quo. We want to make decisions or take decisions if it's British English. So not be static. I think Web3 again is something where people go fast and build and pivot. And want to be open, want to welcome different ideas and cultures. I think sports, the Olympics is a good example of this, where people meet, where they might be athletes from the neighboring countries which are fighting, but they're still there. And we encourage benevolence. We think that people are positive and have good aims to start with, so we should give everybody a chance. We also want to be real. We don't want like the fake image. Act with integrity, and most importantly, be able to share our passions. So, be incredible.
So, a few questions, maybe on that. So, how you came with this idea? Like, what is like driving force to build it, or your motivation?
Well, I think my background is in TV and distributing TV content around the world, and especially covering sports events. And I see that this is not working as well as it used to be. And at the same time, I first looked at the blockchain maybe in 2016, 2017, and I didn't really understand how it would scale because of the cost of each transaction on Bitcoin. So I put it aside, said, not interesting but not mature. And then quite recently, I kind of reopened the blockchain book, and I saw that proof of stake, layer 2, and lots of things happening. And I said, okay, that works. And what's particularly interesting for the model is the token economy, which allows you to capture value, which otherwise is not really captured, and redistribute it without a middleman to the people who bring this value. I think this is magic. This is this is really, really interesting. Plus the concept of NFT, where you can also capture things which were not really, translatable before, and then exchange it. And so building all this together, I think there's, the technology allows you to build something new. That's what.
And what is your biggest challenge right now, or things that you want to collaborate or help?
Finding a team, building a team, and in particular on the tech side. I have a technical background, but you see my hair, and it's a bit old. I'm looking for a CTO co-founder who could help build an MVP, and I'm not too worried about finding the finance. I know who to ask. That's not a problem. But if you don't have a team, it's just an idea. So I'm busy kind of starting to network in Amsterdam and other places to talk to people, and hopefully I'll find the ideal guys.
Any questions?
Would you say that the mechanics of your business is similar to OnlyFans?
It's similar, except I would say OnlyFans. Well, I've never been on it, so I'm not too sure exactly how it works. But it's, I'm not sure how you pay the people. Is it with real money or tokens or?
Real money.
Real money.
Yeah.
Or presence, I think.
Or presence. So it would be a bit like that, but I don't thought there are lots of competitors, and usually they have one token per celebrity. I want to have one token for the whole social network, because if you have one token per celebrity, what happens when the celebrity dies or is bored about being on OnlyFans? You have a token which all of a sudden is not worth anymore. And it's a bit individualistic, which is not really the Web3 vibe. So I want one token for the whole community. I think that's a better way of building it.
Decentralized OnlyFans. That's what it looks like.
It's
for athletes.
It's also OnlyFans and like Patreon, and that they don't really give anything back to the, like if I publish and put your work, give you the sports stuff, they don't give anything back to me. I think that's what you're adding.
Yeah, I'm adding also a community around. People can talk about the celebrity without the celebrity, being in the conversation. So it's really a social network, not just a platform to sell services or content. It's a bit like the discussion in the coffee shop, or the bar, and you're talking about this and this. And then, if you're really a good crowd of people, the person you're talking about just opens the door of the bar, and you have a better experience.
What kind of content do you expect in the platform?
Lots of short video, behind the scene, everyday life. You never see people training, or what they eat, or how they prepare for a competition. You see the guys during the competition when they enter the pitch, or when they board their boats, but what happens before, it's very, very difficult to have access to, whereas it's quite interesting. I'm a big sailor, and preparing for around the world sailing is like a 2-year business. You can see a few things on Instagram. Sometimes they post like a picture. Okay, the boat is in this condition or this and that, but it's not super rich. Whereas if the athletes took the habits of documenting a bit their sports life outside the pitch, outside the time where they're really doing competition, it will bring value to the whole experience, and you feel closer to them. And it's a more interesting community to be in.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you.